Yes, this is the last talk, I think, today. And so we can spend the time bashing other content management systems. I hope it's okay for you. So because we are the best, obviously, and no one can reach us. Oh, no? No, that's not true. That's not true. I took the chance to get into the market, to have a clue or have an idea what others do, what is up with Drupal or Sidecar, even Adobe Experience Manager and something like this, and to get an idea how does this market is structured in the moment. What is with the competitors? Are they behind us or in front of us or in the same direction? And yeah, first I want to introduce myself. I'm chairman of the Pluswork. We have 12 locations in the DACH region, Kapstadt and Poland, 130 employees, and a lot of projects, and the most of them, or the half, I would say, with TYPO3, and the other half with e-commerce projects like Shopware and Magento. And yes, we are doing TYPO3 in total since 2002. That's awesome, since 13 years. Have 55 employees in the area of TYPO3, have certified integrators, books written, extensions in TER. So we are very strong in TYPO3. So what's wrong with this? Why I'm standing here and talking about competitors? Because we earn money. We have to just sit, relax and sit back and wait for the customers coming with the TYPO3 offers to us. But it changed something in the last years. I heard this one often in the last months, and people said to me, TYPO3 is feature complete. Everything is in, everything. Everything what you need for content management is included. Who's the same opinion? No one. Okay. That's true. Because, and this will lead the talk, I have a personal view of this project. I love TYPO3, absolutely. You've seen the numbers. And we're doing a lot of TYPO3, and TYPO3 7 LTS will be the best release ever. Absolutely. But we have done our homework till now. So we are on the level, we have reached the basic level of content management of the future now. So, but there's a lot to go, and we will see in which direction this should or could go. Yes, because there are a lot of competitors on the market. I discovered this in the blog article. You see it on the upper corner here. It was great because they used this. This is not a logo. And others, Pimcore and TYPO3 and PageKit, Easy, Zulu, and there are a lot of missing. 120 content management systems are in the market out there in a stable version. So that's a lot. And there are a few really simple solutions and a few really big solutions out there. And now is the question, where should TYPO3 be in this range? Should it be in the easy ones for like a page builder software or something like this? Or is it an enterprise content management system? So in the earlier days of TYPO3, on the books and everyone, where was written enterprise content management. So what is enterprise? And what is the enterprise doing? And what are they needing from us? So, hot or not? I tried this one by myself. You know it perhaps, some of you. The ones who are laughing using this app, I think. Yes, TYPO3 is 17 years old in total, so it's really major. It's 1 year to 18. Now it can drink a lot of stuff. Yeah, some statistics. Alan Ruff has written in his blog article recently that he don't want to use numbers because others will do it. And so I'm your guy today to deliver the numbers. Are you aware that we have 1 billion websites out there registered? 1 billion in total. That's really awesome. 1 billion. But 68 86% are not active, just are reserved, names are reserved. And these are 300 million websites. And now guess what? A quarter of these websites are driven by one system. Who has a clue? WordPress. Awesome. A quarter of all websites, all active websites on the whole planet are driven by WordPress. We are laughing about WordPress. If we talk to each other and we say, hey, content management, TYPO3 is cool, Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, oh, come on, it's just a blog. No, it's a content management system, and a really major one. Yeah, it's not for the small websites, not just for the blogs. There are really, really huge websites driven by WordPress. And that's strange. And this is the reason because why PHP is so spread. It's WordPress in the moment. It's with 80% in total. So these are 74 million pages worldwide. So if I have a look at the top 3 CMS statistics, you find the link in the upper corner to some statistic. They differ slightly, but the trend is the same. So 50% of all websites which use a CMS are driven by WordPress. So the quarter was from all websites, and here is 50% from all they're using a CMS. Joomla worldwide with 9%, and Drupal with 2%. No TYPO3. TYPO3 is with 1.6%. On the 5th or 6th place, I think. Before is Blogger.com and Shopify. That's interesting. About 500,000 instances we have out there, active instances. So if I narrow this down to Germany, then of course this will differ because TYPO3 is much more important in Germany than in any other country of the world. So we have WordPress with 23%, Joomla with 13%. No, it's more, because there are WordPress versions 4.1 and 4.2 and something like this. Yes, and TYPO3 with 10%. So this is really cool. We have 10% of the market here in Germany. But we can get more. And if I compare the usage statistics in the last years, then there's a trend to see. So we had the double amount of today we had in 2010, and it's going down. It's not that I believe that it's not that TYPO3 is not has that usage anymore, because but I think that more other systems come into the market and get market share from them. So we have more systems, more spreading of the systems, more and more. But we are losing in usage. And the downloads of TYPO3, we see this 4.5 version was very successful, and since then it's going down. It's the SourceForge statistic of downloads there. So we have to do something against this. I hope so, because we are here for strengthen TYPO3 to make it more popular and more successful. We make a small examination of the 110 DAX share index corporations in Germany. That's the biggest ones in Germany which are on the market, and 18 Bundesliga clubs, of course. It's very important for us Germans. And guess what? We have 29% TYPO3 there. That's great. So it seems to be, if you compare this counts alone, it seems to be that it's an enterprise system. It's very capable to do enterprise, because there are big websites. And we have 6 TYPO3 4.5 and 2 with 4.7. Who's responsible for this? Please update. That's not good. And the other one is, perhaps you have recognized that we have this ELTS. It's because the version 4 is in the moment more successful than 6 or 7. Of course, 7 is in the beginning. So I think we get a big push if this LTS comes out, and I think that everyone who has perhaps fear to go on the 6th version will go to the 7th version, of course. So it will increase, but I think we have to do something against these 4 versions out there. And I don't think that another LTS or the LTS is the answer. So we have to convince them that we have a much better product. Please upgrade now, you get 10% discount. No, I don't know. But yeah, we have to do something. So 58% do not use a CMS at all. So I think this is the biggest competitor we have. We can convince companies to use a CMS. They're using, I don't know, plain vanilla HTML or doing some manual stuff there. And there's so much potential out there we can use, so don't fight against the other systems. Try to get this market. There is a lot more to come. And yeah, I think that in the future, everyone should or must have a system which manage content in any way. Okay, let's have a clue. Let's have a view on the segments. So where is TYPO3? In which segment or on which project size it makes sense to use TYPO3? It's just a personal thing of me. I thought let's compare the complexity of a project, a simple project, an easy project, complicated, complex, and more complex, and map a project volume against. Perhaps the simple ones are the landing pages for 3,000 euro, 4,000 euro, the simplest one, no-brainer. Then we have this easy websites. It's just a simple website with 50 pages, some news there, and some images and something like this. So it's in the easy sector. Complicated ones are much more complicated, of course. They have some connections to third-party APIs and something like this. And then it's going up and up, and you land at 500 plus K plus websites. So the really big ones. You have an amount of business logic inside these projects, of course. You have the integration to subsystems, so we have hardly integrations in a simple one, but an inevitable integration in the biggest one, because they can't live with the subsystems. They are connected to SAP, to Navision, to something like this. And at the end, you have competitors in all of these segments. So you have, of course, in the simple segments, this 58%, I think so, competitors which do vanilla websites, or have the one-on-one website builder, which is getting has an increased market share in the moment with 3% in total, or Wix, CM4, Jimdo, and all of these website builders. Should TYPO3 position against these tools? This is a question. In the easy one, I think we have WordPress and Joomla, so 5 to 25, and WordPress, as we have seen, is also it's also possible to do complicated websites. Not the biggest one, of course, but it can be in segment B and C. And we have Drupal, Easy Publish, and so on, and in the C segment. And then there are the enterprise content management players, the bigger one. And so this is my personal view. We should position in C and D, because in the other segments it doesn't make any sense. Obviously it's possible, of course. I can do a simple website without any problems with TYPO3, but does it make sense? Just because I'm a specialized TYPO3 vendor. So, okay, customer, you want to have these 2 pages, I do some TYPO3 for you. I don't know. It's just a personal view. And the other one, we have no vertical and horizontal segments or markets with TYPO3, although it's possible. So we have this government site builder out there. Have you ever worked with government site builder? That's the crappiest piece of software I've ever seen. Yes, it is. of course, it's so old. It's no UI, no, of course UI, but no UX. It's unusable in many ways. And yes, you want to have TYPO3 in the official in the government sector or something like this, but we have no lobby behind till now to promote this. That we are a certified system in this area or in other areas as well. So this could be a way for TYPO3 to specialize in some vertical or horizontal market. So what are the analysts thinking? So I've chosen 3 of the analysts, and I don't want to bore you because they're saying so much. Frost & Sullivan, for example, these are all American, also US consulting firms, but they are working in Europe, all over the world, contacting people, talking with customers, making surveys. So they are in the first row when it comes to asking the customer what do they want, what do they expect from a system. So still before the company which delivers this software, and this is because this is so essential to hear to this consulting firms. So Frost & Sullivan, for example, say mobile and cloud platforms are driving widespread adoption of web content management. So these are the future markets for Frost & Sullivan, not for Frost & Sullivan, but for the customers. And they asked them from Frost & Sullivan. So this is important. We have, of course, we can look at a web page, but can we manage a web page from mobile? Till now, it's not possible with TYPO3. And the cloud, we are cloud ready in some aspects. We have a file driver for cloud anywhere, but we are not in the cloud. We cannot deploy in the cloud with one click. We have solutions for this. Everyone has a solution, of course, but the system itself has no answer for this. And Frost & Sullivan estimates the current global CMS market will grow at 13.3% per year through 2017. So the next 2 years are glory years for us. Can earn a lot of money with TYPO3 or with web content management. So these are just a few features customers of Frost & Sullivan expect from a classical or not from classical, from an enterprise content management system. And if you have a look at this, on the top left corner, records, case, document, and digital asset management. Okay, this fits to TYPO3, perhaps. Web experience management, what's this? So I give an answer a bit later. Workflow and business process management, advanced search, built-in, OCR, and so on and so on. These are expectations from customers. And if the software doesn't fit these expectations, they choose another one. That easy. Or Gartner, one of the biggest ones. They have 6,000 associates and 1,500 research analysts working the whole day with customers, asking them, working with them, and so on. And what to do say? This is not so important, but they have a feature set as well. And they say nearly the same thing. So they have good integration with delivery tiers such as e-commerce, social media, good integration. Not it's possible to combine TYPO3 and with Magento. They have solutions, also the bigger ones, the chosen ones of Gartners. They have solutions for all of the software out there, Navision and what else? Or library services, and so on, and so on. They are releasing a Magic Quadrant every year for a lot of technology, but as well for web content management. And as we see, we have 4 quadrants here, and the leader up there is, for example, Sidecar and Adobe. So they are in the front often if it comes to such analysts' opinions. Acquia not with Drupal itself, but with the Acquia platform, which is based on Drupal, is in this quadrant as well. But there's no TYPO3 there. And we're talking with Gartner in the moment to make this possible, but it's a hard way to get into this. And some say it's just an aspect of money. If you pay enough, then you are in. That's not true. You have to earn money with the product. That's another thing. They want to see a company behind a viable solution provider. And this is something which we want to achieve with the TYPO3 Inc., which we are discussing and which we have voted for. So I think that we are on the way to get into this quadrant, but I don't know where. Past here to easy systems or something like this. Microsoft, this is empty here, perhaps there. I don't know. It's very, very difficult because the matrix is not, is described, but you have not the correct votings there, which you have to achieve to get in which quadrant. Another thing they often release yearly, I think on a yearly base, is the hype cycle of content management. So there they try they have a phase of which technology is in which phase for this spectrum of content management. So perhaps there's federated search on the right here. So this is a search which combines all channels, which is capable of searching news and content and third-party content and so on and so on. We have the solution, not built in, but with Solar or Kai Search or something like this. So this is on the right side. This should be included, and this is absolutely normal. This is standard. So this is not discussion worth. But these are the hot things: so file analysis, proactive search. So you don't type anything, and the system searches for you because the system knows you, how you interact with the system in the past, and they make predictions for the future or something like this. These are the hot topics, of course, and we don't know if this reaches this plateau and in which time. So they have more than 10 years for example, enterprise taxonomy and ontology management. So this is a very big time frame. But some of them, social content or easy content, for example, easy content management. Easy content management seems so simple, but imagine the people working with TYPO3 and not on a daily basis, but let imagine every 6 weeks. So they have so much systems, SAP and something like this, and they open TYPO3 and they think, oh man, where is the button to find the news? I don't know. Because it's not that easy, it's not that intuitive for someone who don't work every day with the system. And this is meant with easy management. And it's not easy management of easy content, it's easy management of complicated content and from different channels, from subsystems and something like this. So it should be easier and easier for the people. We can learn a lot from this hype cycle to think about what technology will be in the future, in the near future, will play a role which makes it possible for TYPO3 to fulfill this needs here. The next one, what is this? No, it's not working. Forrester, for example, they're asking that they have a number, 500,000 consumers and business leaders worldwide, to their expectations regarding content management systems. And they say web content management is the backbone of digital experience. We heard this in the keynote talk of Alain. So it's not the content management itself to do, it's just the backbone. The digital experience is on the top. There the game begins to play. That's important, the digital experience, not the backbone system. It should be there, should work, and there should be no errors and something like this, but it's just the base. So TYPO3 could be the base in the future for this, what the customer wants to do with the system. Oh, no. Wait. So, here we are again. And the next one, vendors now extend their web content management backbones into marketing, mobile, and cloud. So these are the three drivers in the moment, and we should think about this too. Yeah, let's skip this because it's the same. Sidecar, Adobe, they're doing something right, and we will have a look what they are doing right in a few slides. So they have a matrix how they calculate this status of being a leader or not being a leader. So they have this persons here. Testings should be included. Analytics should be included in the system because it's important. If I have a Google Analytics account for my website, I don't want to change in another tab. It should be included in my system, of course, because it's measuring the data which are there I see on my website, and not in another system or something like this. So a B test and something like this should be included in the system, of course. What else? Mobile strategy. Strategy itself. We have a technical strategy, but do we have a product strategy? Where should the product be positioned against the market, against the competitors in a few years? Where are our competitors? Which we say, okay, we want to reach this competitor, or we want to overrule it, or something like this. Yeah, competitors. For example, WordPress. We have talked about this. Market share increases in the moment by 0.5% per month, so 6% per year. It's not increasing forever, but in the moment, they're getting more and more market share. Backend is available in 40 languages, the frontend in 120 languages with language files, of course. Otherwise, you can't do anything with the system you want. 40,000 plugins available with 1 billion downloads. So there's a lot of action there. And big sites, CNN, Forbes, TechCrunch, The New Yorker, BBC, Sony, and so on and so on. So they have the big sites as well. It's not a system we can laugh about. Absolutely not. We should have a look. What are they doing better? What is the most successful e-commerce in the system? What do you think? Magento Enterprise, some other shopware perhaps? No, it's WooCommerce. You've ever heard from WooCommerce? Okay, 1, 2, 3, not that much. 30% of all e-commerce sites worldwide are driven by WooCommerce, and WooCommerce is a plugin for WordPress. That easy. Yeah. Just a WordPress plugin, yes. No standalone version. Yeah. Great, absolutely great. Drupal. So they are working since 4 years, 5 years on the next version. But the version is nearly close to release. We have the release candidate 1 for a few weeks ago. And I think it will take about 2 months or 3 months, and we have one of the hardest competitors out there for TYPO3. I think the best competitors. So they have many themes out there, and this is why they choose WordPress for Drupal, for example, because they can have a web content management framework as well as TYPO3 and the theming stuff as well. So we can start with a website in seconds. They have a lot of modules, peoples, and so on and so on. And they're driving the big brands as well. Not in Germany till now, but they have that much money collected with venture capital, also Acquia. And so they concentrate on the German market because they want the market share here. Drupal 8 has, for example, it's not that sexy, obviously, but they have in-place editing. So we worked for this feature for a long time, and it's now in Neos and it's separated. But we need this in CMS 8 or 8.1 or something like this. We need this feature because the customer wants to have it. They don't want to, some customers, but the most customers don't want to be in the back end and to think, okay, this is the content element, and when I click here on the edit button, this is, no. They want to click in the website. So they are on the website, they want to click there and want to edit the content. Or mobile first and responsive web design. As you see, you can even install Drupal on an iPhone. You can install it. It's not this, we are responsive because we are supporting a big tablet. No, we can, no, that's not true with the Apple Watch, but we can support a small smartphone, of course. It doesn't make any sense to install it there, but it shows how the people think. So it's mobile first, and so of course we can install it there. Of course we can manage it there, because the management of the whole backend is possible in the iPhone. And they integrate web services and Symfony, for example, because Symfony is an industry standard, or kind of an industry standard. Not the whole framework, but routing and something like this. But it's important to include these technologies in there, because there are so many developers out there who are familiar with Symfony. So they came to the Drupal project, and they know which part to edit if they need something. And I want to, because now the bigger brands are coming, Adobe and Sidecar, and they are doing something totally different. So they are don't talk about content management, because content management is something which concentrates on the system. You know, so I manage the content in the system, so that's fine. And I have the user somewhere, he's doing something with this anyway. And on the other side, we have customer experience management, or experience management, or how you call it, anyway. And this is vice versa. So the customer, the consumer, is the main person here, and everything concentrates on his customer journey, for example, on his customer experience. This is much more important than the system. If you have a technical feature, then first give the business value, the reason for this, to have it in the system, not just for it's there. So I have some standards included there. Why? What makes it better? What business needs can I solve with this feature? And if you have no answer, then skip this feature. It makes no sense. So, for example, Adobe Marketing Cloud. So it's one of the biggest and complexest, more complex system, because they have analytics, campaign management, and so on and so on. And this small part of experience management you see here, this is the content management part. It's taken from CQ. They bought it from Day Software. They bought the whole company and had the system and renamed it. And if you have a look on the positioning, then you see it's not about content management, it's about build lifetime value. A totally other way to communicate, because you want to be coexistence across different channels. That's important, because you have different channels, and you want to publish one thing there, perhaps for some news or something like this, and this should be in the Facebook channel, in the same time in the Twitter stream, in the blog, on the website, on a different website, in a search engine, and something like this. And you can measure all these channels and say which is successfuler than the other. Which channel can I should I concentrate on, and something like this. And this is extremely important. Get personal. So personalization is one of the key things, I think, in the future, because normal content management expects that everyone is similar. And that's not true. If I'm surfing on a web page, I have different needs, I have different expectations than you and you and you. And so the system should reflect this, should be aware of which persona or which user is on the web page, and should deliver content which is appropriate for this. And so on and so on. That's not so interesting. That's just the basic structure. But they are thinking a lot about the infrastructure. They want to include in every system. They want to get all data to decide in the right way if it comes to content delivery. Sidecar, for example. Put your customers at the center of everything you do, creating customers for life. This is the marketing speech of Sidecar, but this is the thinking of the people. So you don't want to release a website just for the website itself. You want to gain customers. You want to have them get them to get a conversion, something, to buy something, to be convinced of the brand or something like this. This is important. The customer is important, not the solution itself. And so they have this cross-channel thing as well, of course. So this is really, really important. You see, if you are on the platform, you have this content editor, this one here. This is content management. The rest, marketing control panel, executive dashboards, all of the success metrics you use for. You have campaign management, and so on and so on. But because this is important, you want to have success on the web. And the marketing department wants to launch a product and want to measure, is it successful, and is this okay if I write it in this way or that way? Should I use another conversion button or something like this? And I can measure this in one system. So the next one is Hippo, or the last one, I think. And it's the same. Hippo is an open source software which you can use for free. Of course, it's based on Java. And this is a trend we have discovered, that more and more major brands switch to Java when it comes to e-commerce or content management. And they're leaving the PHP world, but with Hybris and something like this. But it's another thing. And so for Hippo, the customer journey is in the foreground, and they have tools to fulfill all of the steps in the customer journey. So yes, this is just a screen of Hippo where you can edit, of course, inline, and where you can show the personas. Also you switch the personas to get another content which are suitable for them. Behind there is a complex business logic to divide which persona wants to see which content and something like this. But the editing process is very easy here. And the metrics, of course, in one system, and so on and so on. This should be the systems we have a look at if we plan new features. This one, of course, there's not one customer in the higher segments which have at least one subsystem running. For example, SAP, or we are not Hybris, perhaps Oracle, Salesforce, or something like this. So the system should have connectors ready to use for the systems. Of course, we have some customizations there, but it should not be the work of the agencies to deliver some of the connectors, because of course we can connect SAP. Every agency out there can this, but they have different ways, different quality, with different methods and something like this. But we can't write on the page, we are capable of connecting SAP, and that's the problem, because the customer wants to have this in his choice, on his way to do the choice. So, what to do next? Of course, every talk should end with a top 10 list to do now. No, just kidding. Personal view, the ultimate hot or not list. It's just a personal view of me, but I hope it can inspire you to, if you think about the system, if you're working on TYPO3, if you are a core team member, to think about one of them, or to get into the discussion. Perhaps some of them are bullshit in your mind, it's okay. So what we really, really need, and I'm saying this for years, we need this TYPO3 Inc. We don't need a commercial system, that's not the point. We should be or stay open source as long as we can be forever, of course. But we need a solid base ground. We need a company which has full-time employees in areas of marketing, of strategy, and something like this. This is really, really important. The next one is we need this marketplace, I think. This makes the system more retail. I think that marketplaces, of course, there are products which cost money. For example, if you have a shop system or a template or something like this, but it's a no-brainer. If there is a really, really, really good template which I can adapt for, let's say, $39 or something like this, that's not half of an hour what I get normally if I work for this. We need a strong vision. I think that's important. For every business thing you do, you need a strong vision, because if you have no vision, then you have no goal. You have no direction. You can go there and there and there. It's opportunity driven, and I think it's not that powerful if we choose this way. We have to concentrate on customer experience. I think this is the most important thing, because these are the people using the system every day. And so we should concentrate on then what are their experience, what do they want, and not what the system is capable to deliver. That's not important. What they want is important. We need, I think, standards. For example, content repository standard, JCR, Jackrabbit, something like this, or Symfony. Use standards as often as you can, and as it makes sense, of course, because there are people standing behind the standards, developing the standards, developers are familiar with the standards, and something like this. Don't reinvent the wheel every time. Makes no sense. Address the enterprise. I think that we should fit best in enterprise in the segment C and D. And so we should address this. So we should have a vision which is enterprise capable. We should include features like inline editing or a REST API as soon as possible, because they are so important. So I know that we have talks tomorrow where I think both things are included. But it's really important. We should have a more marketing focus, because in the end we have customers, of course, so they are more important, and then we have marketing deciders, and then we have the agencies, and then we have the developers. So it should be the way from the customers to the developers, and so we should hear to the marketing people. It's been more and more marketing deciders, and the IT deciders are losing market share here when it comes to decisions. Connectors everywhere. I think this, if you have a look at Slack or Trello or something like this, what do they have? Thousands of connectors, because there are systems out there, and no one wants to change his whole infrastructure because of a new system. That should be included. And the last one, cloud, buzzword bingo. But we should be capable to be in the cloud, not cloud ready, or a feature is easy to include in the cloud or something like this. The system should run in the cloud. We are working on this, I think, with Azure, with Microsoft, but it should run. There should be deployment strategies for AWS and something like this from the box, out of the box. Yes, and then we are gaining the #1, hopefully, of the enterprise CMS market sometime. Would be great. Would be an honor from you or for us. Thanks a lot. This was it. I hope you enjoyed the talk.
Thank you, Patrick, for this